What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of 6 Minutes of Game. Look, I'm not even gonna waste any time. My name is Jalil. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the topic. Today, I'm gonna be talking about how the red pill has lied to you. No cap. The reason I say this is because being married is not your biggest disadvantage. Being in a relationship is not your biggest disadvantage. A girl taking your money is not your biggest disadvantage. Your biggest disadvantage is the fact that you don't know any better. And I'm tired of this philosophy that teaches young men that it's your life is, or everything bad that happens in your life is a woman's fault. That's not necessarily true. Everything in life that doesn't go your way is your fault. You need to take personal accountability for every decision that you make. It's nobody's fault except for yours. It's not your parents' fault your life is not going the way it's supposed to be going. It's not your girlfriend's fault. It's not your wife's fault. It's your fault. Right? If you're not educating yourself about difficulties in your life and things keep not going your way, that's your fault. Take personal accountability and seek to be better. I mean, it's no one's fault except for yours. And I genuinely do say this with a lot of compassion, because I was once 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I'm almost 28. And I was trying to figure it out that whole time. And the older I get, the more I realize we have a ton of life to live, but we're always going to be trying to figure it out. And I figured out that trying to figure it out just leads to more worry and more stress. And we have a lot of life to live. You have a lot of life to live. And if you keep going through life blaming everybody for the things that's happening to you, I'm telling you, twin, you're gonna live the rest of your life stressed out, blaming other people, blaming the government, blaming the internet, blaming social media, blaming your job, blaming the way your beard looks, blaming the fact that you're bald. It's always going to be someone's fault. And I'm starting to realize as men, man, we already have the back end of the stick. And the best thing we can do with the back end of the stick is the best thing we can do with the stick. And that's keep swinging. Everybody else is going to be put before us. Women, children. You think of it, and that's a good thing. Naturally, we are the gender that seeks to sacrifice ourselves for the greater good of society, of humanity, of our countries, our communities, etc., etc. You go down the list, and the more you accept it, the better off you'll be. You want to be married. You want to be married. You want to be in a relationship. You don't hate women. You just hate how sometimes they make you feel. You don't hate being in a relationship. You just hate sometimes how being in a relationship makes you feel. And partly being in a relationship is having someone in your life that evokes emotion, that gets something, that stirs something within you that you've never felt before. And it's okay to process those emotions. It's okay to process your emotions, to feel something, digest it, and figure out why it is that you're feeling what you're feeling. Then when you figure it out, you've just learned something new. You just learned something about yourself that you had never known before. And most of you guys need to stop being babies. Most of y'all need to grow up. Like, seriously. The whole being so overtly emotional is a disease. And it blows my mind how often, like, I experience, like, overtly emotional men. I'm like, dude, have you never been punched in the face? Have you never been yelled at? Have you never been told no? Bro, it's insane. Stop being so emotional. Get out of your feelings. Like, not everything is supposed to... Bro, it's actually kind of funny. Because not everything is supposed to, like, drive you crazy. Like, get you all out of your comfort zone. Like, why are you breaking character because somebody looked at you the wrong way? Why are you breaking character because your wife told you to wash the dishes? Why are you breaking character? Be a man. Be strong. I don't even say be strong. Hold your composure. Have some composure. Have some grit about you. Have something about you that's different. You look around, you see... I hate to say this. I genuinely hate to say this. I hate to be the person saying this stuff. But if you look around and you look at most men that are married, let alone single, out of shape, out of character, out of mind. And if you fix those 3 things, you're automatically on top of the world. Get in shape, get your mind right, and get your head... get in shape, get your mind right, and get your head... Get in shape, get your mind right, and I'm gonna think of a third thing at some point. But those first 2 things, if you just get your mind right and you get in shape, you're automatically on top of the game. And if you have a hard time with dating, with like getting women, I'm gonna give you the secret. And it's really not even a secret. You know this. You probably just don't want to do the work to... You probably just don't want to do the work to make it happen. Women are not difficult. You do these 2 things, and you'll have women at your fingertip. All you got to do is be in shape and look good. Be in physically good shape and dress semi-decent, and women will flock to you. Those 2 things are... what's the word? Just those 2 things are value signals. They're signals that you at least have some type of social understanding to be healthy and appear to be well, right? The better you look, the more healthy you look. The more in shape you look, the more you look like you care about yourself. And women just want to be in a relationship with somebody where it seems like they care about themselves. Because if you care about you, maybe you care about someone else. Maybe you care about me. And you can't be selfish. This is probably like something I have to break down a bunch of videos, because there's no one shoe fits all when it comes to like dating and relationships. Me and my wife are going on 2 years of marriage, and when I was single, I thought I had an understanding of women. Being married just completely changes the game, because what you realize is that women are incredibly single, and as men, we're overtly complicating the process. Like, you don't have to guess with the ladies. They show you what they want. If you see a young lady out here that's dressed a specific way, she's most likely attracted to other men that dress similar to how she dresses. If you see a girl who dresses very much in style, like I'm talking about a fashionista, she's most likely going to be attracted to men that are fashionistas. If you see a girl that dresses extremely basic, she's going to be attracted to men that dress extremely basic. This is not difficult. It's genuinely not difficult. The problem is that you want something that is not who you are. You're an extremely basic guy, and you want a girl that's a fashionista. Or you might be a fashionista talking about, I want a basic girl. You get in a relationship with a basic girl and you start thinking she's boring. You want something that's outside of your character. And that's the reason your relationships aren't working. Be with like what likes you. My dad used to always tell me this. I could never understand it. I never got it right. because I wanted something exotic, right? I wanted something that all my other friends didn't have realistically. And when you go for what your friends don't have, you're just going for something to make somebody else jealous or to envy you so that you stand out. But realistically, bro, just being in a healthy relationship, you already stand out. Most people are not in healthy relationships. I hope you guys get far enough in this. I was over here talking about red pill. Now I'm transitioning to talking about listen, the majority of people are not in healthy relationships. The majority of people are stressed out 24/7, thinking about what their wife ain't doing or what their husband is not doing. Most people are not in healthy relationships. And if you just look for a healthy person to be with, you already stand out from the pack. You hear me? Most marriages end. Hear me? Most marriages end. And then there's no statistic that shows us how many people are still married and are happily married. There's no statistic for it. And if people make any assumptions, they say even half of that number of the 40 to 50 percentile of people that stay married are in happy marriages. So that means around 20 to 25% of people that are actively married are in healthy marriages. And then you could take that same number and translate it to relationships. The majority of people that are in relationships, period, are in happy relationships. That's such a small number of people. And you could be one of those people if you took dating serious, if you vetted people seriously, if you weren't just trying to get a piece of tail and you actually was just like, you know what? Is this person a good person? Who cares about whether you dress nice or whether you don't? Whether you wear makeup or whether you don't? Whether you got Botox and whatever the other thing is or whether you don't. Stop focusing on things that are fleeting and focus on what is already there, and that's the character that's been instilled. And if you focus on that, if you focus on being in a relationship with a good woman, all these other problems that you're having in your relationship that's caused you to really like feed into this RP mindset is gonna leave. It's gonna be, all that's gonna go out the window. You're gonna meet somebody, you're gonna meet someone and experience a love you never knew. And I say this because I completely understand the philosophy, the mindset, etc., because I was deeply ingrained in that joint. Like, I wake up every day and watch Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, all that stuff. And I had to deprogram, because a lot of the stuff they say is facts, right? But there's this other side of the equation that's missing. And that's the people that they're talking about, the women that they're talking about, completely real, completely agree with all the stuff they're saying. But that's only such a small percentage of women. There's all these different types of women out here, bro. Like, and the thing is the women that you are attracted to are the women that they're talking about. But there's a ton of different women out here that are different than the women that they are talking about. And what I'm trying to say to you is to find the woman that's not like them. You feel me? That's not what do they call it in the church? They call her a Jezebel. Stay away from the Jezebels, twin. It's better to live on top of a roof in the middle of a storm than be in a relationship with a Jezzy. But yeah, that's the game for today. I know I went well over 6 minutes. I try and keep this in 6 minutes or less, just to respect y'all's time, to get the word out, to get the game out as fast as possible. But I went a little overboard. But look, if you guys are enjoying the content, leave a like, subscribe, comment. I'm doing everything I can to stay consistent in the middle of being a father, full-time, husband, etc. We're living out a dream right here. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.